need how to operate. Imagine my community without the traditional ruler, so we need more than that. I don't think it's a good thing for us to work with. Then finally, as a group, we need to seriously make our identity known anywhere, anytime, even with the way we dress. What's not that dress was dress? And some of us also we are afraid. Like you are going to travel to see one and identify them. So that in case something happens, you don't die or something happens. I think it's high time we show the world who we are. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Also respond to some of the issues. I want to ask all of you. You know, when you teach in a class and you finish, any question? Let's say there are no questions about us. Okay, I will question. When you finish, I will say something. So, something is wrong somewhere. I return from Yola. We will go to Christ. The problem of minority is becoming so strong because of the and the way we watch we pray and God. The solution to that is very simple. One of you and start process of peace building. Let's negotiate, let's discuss, let's identify where we can work together. But when we work together, it's better than allowing people. You can see even the killings in those days in Yola at the peak of this Boko Haram. They will do so many things, and when you fight back, it's you that you are fighting back that is yet. The man who came to invade your community, nothing happens to him because there is no unity. So what you are saying, I agree with you, but you need to work on it. As community leaders, you talk, identify areas of which you may not easily get to a lasting solution immediately. As time goes on, you will see yourself trying to chart the same path of peace and unity, which will give you success in tackling that one. And by the time you are there, you now discover that the neutral person you thought is good. I'm assuring you from what I've seen over the years, they are always spoiling this thing secretly. So, but the first way to tackle them is to agree and to work together as a group. It's very, very important. And my brother from Gombe too, isn't it? See, you captured everything about it, and you know that as of today, the presence, the hostility against minority has increased in Gombe. It has increased, definitely, just because you don't notice that even intra-ethnic unity is widening. That's just it's similar to what you're saying, what you are saying. And if you people don't come together, before you know it, it's not just taking your traditional title, appointment. I mean, if you check now, maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, count the number of minority who are permanent secretaries in good ministries. And today, who are permanent secretaries in ministry where they can do anything. It's reducing, definitely. And that calls for reason for you to sit together and know how to handle the case. Our friend from the Federal Capital Territory, yes, what you are saying is an open knowledge. You have in the past, as the initial takeoff of this democratic dispensation, you had a minister from the Federal Capital Territory, isn't it? Gradually, nothing like that is happening again. And now, what pains me there in Abuja is that those who came as settlers. Just the way I am a settler and planter. You get it now? Those who came as settlers are now trying to take over what belongs to you. And if you are united, which you have done, at least in the last 3 times, people united and voted your own to the assembly. And definitely again, if our laws is treating capital territory as a state, we deserve a minister or regular, not begging. We deserve a minister representing federal capital territory. And that minister should be indigenous to that place. And that can only be achieved through collaborative effort. You see, there's nothing wrong before election. You say, we are voting this party, and you have a chat with the party. So look, we are giving you our support, and this is what we want. It's normal in political bargaining. So that all of you will sit and know this is what you bargain. And if you are disappointed, you will go back to the drawing board. But definitely, Abuja is becoming a no man's land, which shouldn't be. There are people who are living there. There are people who are indigenous to that place. But what they want to do is to push you people away and take over the place. Before you know it, one man who will win a contract here and who has bought your land, cheap money, will go and do something and just name a place, a palace, and call himself an enemy or a chief. And he will not tamper with your own traditional institution, but gradually be attracting attention of other people who are not aware going to do. Over the years, he will lose his way to the I don't think our friend from I think where did you mention your case? I know what you mentioned. No. Yes, yeah. The unity is still the same thing. You see, when we talk of naming people, changing names, it is common. General Yakubu Gawan joined the military as Jack Gawan. That was his name when they were Jack Gawan, which is an abbreviation of Jacob Gawan. Are you getting it now? But because of the NPC government, late JC Obande from Benue State, he was a proprietor of Commonwealth College here in Jos. At the point I was a principal at that school, he told me he registered Gawan as Jack. And he called and said, who is this Ubature who is still in our military? He called him, and the guy said he's from Apache, but they are based in Zaria. And he said he embraced him and supported him in the spirit of Middleburg. But what happened? They changed it by calling him Yakubu, 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 Yakubu. How you get it now? Then the same thing with Theophilus. Theophilus Danjuma, Tiwa, because he was doing well, excelling in the civil war, they brought the Theophilus. And they were announcing that the radio Kaduna, Yakubu Danjuma, Yakubu Danjuma. How do you get it now? So this emphasis of trying to be we is always there. And again, ignorantly or out of whatever, at times you hear people give you a name to possess you. You see yourself as being accepted by them, not knowing that you are being degraded. Then you take that name too. Commonly, is the tradition, how someone will give a place a name. I will not call it the other name. And before you know it, people will join them. As I was growing, I was born on a Friday. And up till, well, all of them, I don't remember whether it's aligned with it. I think they were brought up. They don't call me Ezekiel. They call me Danjuma. And my people always resisted. Anytime, after the time I became a big adult, then I go, the older ones who are there, Danjuma, I will say Ezekiel, Danjuma. So because I was brought up to resist their way of imposition. So they impose the name of the place they will impose. And if you accept to pray, nothing happens. That is how it becomes. So it is very important that you insist on the original names and in your communications, and that local government chairman can also do that. And in the process, it will be difficult in the National Assembly with the composition that we have. Because some of your people in the National Assembly don't even know the importance of changing the name. Say what is in the name, not knowing that it is your identity. I think that is very, very important. Our brother here, I think the case is the same case of name, which I think if you establish what the original name is, you don't need to fight anybody. Just to put the records straight that look, this is our name, and it will go. Then the use of religion is, you see, religion, God created us to have the faith we want to have. We should not disagree. In the Southwest, they record more with the tribe than the religion. There are some CEO, chief executive officers, or the GO, General of the Overseers of even Christian ministries, who supported Tinubu, not because of anything, but because it's their Yoruba brother. But up north here, people support because of religion. I don't think if you see the difference. Southwest, they give their support. At times you tell them, this man is nothing to go. He has the integrity, is questionable, he has reputation, which all of you have. You say he's our brother. I don't know what I'm saying, but up here, the idea is that we are of the same religion. So the issue is that in the actual sense, just like Balaam said some years ago, see, people use religion to manipulate. But whether we like it or not, even in Israel, where we are viewed as a center for biblical historical heritage, you have Muslims, you have Judaism, you have people, Christians are minority there. But they live together. So in most cases, the idea is that people use what they can do, what they have, to get what they want. In the past, nobody talked about Christian, Muslim. Nobody. And we are moving onward. Nobody complained. But now, since governance is becoming delicate, people use that to get access to power. And it's not there for you. If you have a very responsible, active, and dedicated Muslim who wants to be governor, why would you vote? You can't vote for somebody who says he's a Christian. He sleeps in beer parlor. He's always fighting with taking over somebody's wife, and he's not responsible. You pray. You can say because he says he's a Christian. Even in the Christendom, it's not qualified to call a Christian. And if you have a Muslim who is not living right, and you have a Christian who knows the job, you vote him based on competence. But now, this sentiment, they have been using it. So it is left for us. When we educate ourselves, we group ourselves, we encourage ourselves. Like, I like this program. Christian prayer, Muslim prayer. How do you get it? And when you give that opportunity, and you respect my religion and respect the own, I belong to some platform that use social media. One of the platforms, they say we don't discuss religion. One of the platforms, discuss your religion, but don't harass anybody. So, and we are knowing very well. And when there are controversial issues, we say, look, we are becoming elder statesmen. We cannot push it under the carpet. Let us discuss it. Issues that doesn't even affect us, even national. Let us discuss and take a position. So we will talk, we will judge, and then discuss. This one will say this one will say this. Okay, what is our conclusion? What I'm saying is that if at our level, with some naughty issues we discuss, where are we shying away from? Let us discuss it. Then we chat, we discuss. Then we call ourselves name jokingly, then we resolve it. But that is the spirit we should have, even as this platform. You can not shy away, whether you like it or not. God who put Christians, who put Muslims, who put traditional religion, people together, did not make mistakes. Your religion, your faith will be tested by your interaction with other people, not by people of your own faith alone. If you are living just with Muslims alone, you will not be a good Muslim. If you are living with Christians alone, you will not be the test of your faith, you will not be a good Christian. When you interact, you now know the challenges. Are you to evangelize? Are you to tolerate? What are you to do? That's the truth. So you cannot say this is a Christian country, this is a Muslim country, but you must not allow people to use religion as a vehicle to governance, because it will lead to disengage you from participating in governance. But equity, ability to serve, readiness to serve, competence, and so on. And we should check people who are making considerations based on religion. Say, look, balance this thing, balance it on gender, balance it on our faith, and things will work. So I think we are moving forward. Let's learn to talk, let's learn to discuss, and at the end of it, we'll be able to move on. It cannot be a one-day affair. It could be a gradual something. When we set the pace, we may not be the direct beneficiaries. What we are benefiting today is the sacrifice of our heroes past. Some of them did not live to benefit others. So let us keep on moving. Let us keep on trusting God. And I believe that someday we'll get it right. Even if we are not here, I'm sure we'll be better than us. Thank you very much.
I'm not satisfied with this class. You know, I told you he's a friend of the minister because I've known him at least 30 years ago. When he would report positively on the activities of the military, there's no amount of money you can buy him. And he made sure he gave the middle belt and minorities those big headlines in the news. You know what news is in Nigeria? It's money, but he will do it free of charge. Thank you very much. National coordinator, some issues have been raised regarding this paper. I'm sure you will take note of it because his paper, there's an agenda there. So I think we will, that's the national coordinator and the president will take note of that as actionable points. So on this note, we will say thank you once more. We will still continue to come after you for more knowledge, and also possibly we still need to link up with the Southwest. You know, he's from the Southwest, but he has detached himself from the Southwest and attached to us. You know, the Southwest has been the actual friend of the Middle Belt. Bola Ige used to come and represent cases here in the Middle Belt because of the UN's 80 alliance. So we will still need that alliance now that the Southwest are in the name of leadership in Nigeria. Thank you very much. We will take our next paper. Okay, yeah, we should stretch ourselves. Can we? Not break, we'll just stretch ourselves after this long presentation so that we can take what that is. Okay. Awemikio Mesmari, the Executive Secretary of CIFA, which is the financing agency for Conaecda, to take a stage now. So nothing is possible without money. So Awemikio, come for your paper.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you have already heard, my name is Awemikio Mesmari. I'm the immediate past president of my community, that is the Agara of the local government of Kaduna State, and also the immediate past president of Soka in Kaduna State. I was appointed the board secretary and also the executive secretary of the Community Intervention Empowerment Fundraising Agency, that is CIFA of Conaecda in 2019, even though I just checked and saw that the appointment letter actually reads February 2020. But honestly, I'm sorry to say, with all those titles attached to my name, I'm talking of the board secretary of CIFA and also the executive secretary of the board. I'm not sure I've actually been executing anything since then. Just like one of my brothers here stood up yesterday to tell us that for us to make progress, we need to do three things. And I've discovered that even those three things are not even enough. He said we should not just lament, we should agitate and organize. And that is what CIFA has been doing since 2019. Agitating, rather lamenting our poor financial position in Conaecda, and agitating that we should do something about it. And we have actually also been organizing, but that's where it stops. When you organize, you have to do something more. You have to implement, you have to execute, you have to act. And that is where we are. We just need to act. We need to do something. The Bible says money answers everything. I've been listening, and everybody has been listening. We have been, enumerating so many problems. Most, if not all of these problems are caused by lack of money or even availability of money. When you make available money, you reward the wrong things with money. You have more people that will do it because they are getting some money out of it. And if you have some good things and you don't reward them, people will not do them. Now, wahala. So money answers everything. And where we are now, one of our major problems is funding, financing for our very laudable programs in Conaecda. We are all convinced, we all agree. Conaecda is a very wonderful concept, bringing together the whole people, particularly the CDAs, to do something about our condition and about our situation. But there is a problem. There is very poor commitment, poor practical commitment to our people, our land, our heritage, and our future. There is little commitment. And the easiest, the simplest way to show that commitment is just by funding the activities that will guarantee these things. Very simple, very easy. We don't need millionaires to do that. With our 100 naira, 200 naira, 500 naira, we can do it because we are many. The prof just say, use what you have to get what you want. What do we have in the middle there? The thing that everybody will agree is that we have so much land, and so much people, population is there. So we have a very big market. How do we, harness these resources to solve our problem? That is a challenge. And so we have been trying to address this challenge since 2019, because that's when particular attention was paid to the issue, given to the issue of fundraising. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten far. And the challenge is simply this. When we started, the idea of a pan-middle belt body was very, very, appetizing. People liked the idea. And we thought people would buy in by supporting a pan-middle belt fund, a centralized way of generating funds, because we all have a sense of belonging to the middle belt. Unfortunately, we have since discovered that it is more by mouth. We don't put our money where our mouth is. And so after beating that drum for a centralized way, because we noticed that individual CDAs had challenges themselves within of raising funds. And so we now upgraded the idea to a centralized system. We discovered at the end of the day that people didn't buy them. And we now decided to cascade it further. Okay, instead of a centralized middle belt fund, an account, and whatever, let us have state funds and state accounts. After trying it, there is still some resistance. Well, what is that? We have been crying that the problem with us is tribalism and ethnicity. Unfortunately, that seems to be the only language we understand. And we are tempted once more to also give it a try. But this time, not in isolation. We will have the options. How many people have actually upgraded themselves to the level of thinking at the pan-middle belt level? You have the pan-middle belt account, the centralized account still available. You can contribute. How many of us are still thinking at the state level? If that's where you are, you can contribute to the state account. But still, to make room for even those who have not yet migrated to that, we are also still going to have the community funds. So that at whatever level you feel comfortable at operating, you can operate. So what we are going to introduce, which some communities are already aware of, is the idea of the My Community Fund as yet another strategy to see if we can agree to key in. And so we feel this is why we need to start this, because see, the idea of actually protecting our people, our community, our heritage, and our future, it is CDA leaders that have that primary responsibility of impact. Your politicians do not have regarded as their primary responsibility. Am I right or wrong? They don't look at the issue of protecting the middle belt, the tribes, ethnic nationalities, our culture. That's what their primary responsibility is. That at best, their political parties. That is it. And to some extent, they are themselves. So, if you look at, even our clergymen, this is protecting our ethnic communities, our rights, our future. That is not their primary assignment. The people who should regard our people, our land, our future, our heritage as their primary responsibility are you and we in Conaecda here. That is our primary assignment. The issue is, if that is the primary assignment of CDAs and Conaecda, can we practically demonstrate that we mean business? Yes, it's good to blow grammar, to understand each other. Actually, it is part of the preparation for the practical action. We need to be energized. Correct? But we should not stop there. This is the level that we need to go practical. And so we are here calling for action this time around. And particularly the action we want to call for is financial commitment. We want financial commitment. Nobody is going to ask you to do more than you can afford. You don't have to hang yourself because you want to be better. As simple as 100 naira, 200 naira, or even 1,000 naira every month, for instance, or even if it is here. With our population, we will be getting hundreds of millions. So Conaecda has been operating for the past years. Hardly they are able to generate up to £1 million of their own, and yet they are doing a wonderful work. Imagine if you double or triple the little that you get, it will be wonderful. So I am saying, or we are saying here, the primary responsibility of getting that done is we community leaders. If we don't do that, we don't have the moral right to castigate anybody for not doing it. Because we claim that is our mandate. So if you cannot discharge your mandate, why castigate somebody who has another mandate, to come and help you achieve your own? Let us, put our money by our mouths. And so how do we do that? I feel we have lamented, we have agitated, we have organized. And so right now, we need to do the practical. And the practical thing we want to do is simply this: how we enumerate them, what we expect of community leaders and the Conaecda secretariat. But doing the real practical work, we can't do it in the board here. But immediately we leave, we want to see action. And what exactly am I talking about? It's as simple as ABC. Now, if a child has been in school for 10, 20 years and has been caned by the teacher and has refused to learn simple arithmetic, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 5, or even ABCD, he still cannot do it. Will you expect him to read and do more advanced assignments? Of course not. The issue is all of us here, including our people at home, we are being killed by our oppressors. We are being taught lessons, like I said earlier yesterday. We see it with our eyes, we even smell it, we feel it, and yet we have not been able to step up our game. This is the time for us to do that. And so, what exactly are we expecting? This my community fund, which relates directly to CDAs, is simply this: that each community is going to mobilize its people and contribute to a specialized fund for funding Conaecda projects in their own community. In your own community. All right? So an account will be open where the CDA leaders, in conjunction with the Conaecda Secretariat, will mobilize members of each CDA to contribute money into their My Community Fund. And that is going to be enough to fund your movement to and fro, to your, to the programs here, and also the actual project that the community itself will decide, not just Conaecda Secretariat. You will decide what the fund is going to be used for, so that you completely take ownership, but under the guidance and supervision of Conaecda and CIFA. I think that should make it as easy and simple as possible for people to kick in with full confidence, knowing that whatever you contribute is not be taken and given to some people. Of course, with the proviso that a certain percentage is going to be made available to the state Conaecda fund and also the national Conaecda fund. It's not more than 10, 20, or almost 30%, but the rest is going to be left with the community to execute the projects of its own choice. I think nothing can be as simple and as convincing as that. And so, if that is what we are proposing, the Conaecda Secretariat, the CIFA, board and agency, and the state coordinators and the CDA leadership, it is our primary responsibility to make sure that this arrangement works. If it doesn't work, let us stop shading crocodile teeth. If this doesn't work, we should stop shading crocodile tears, because it means we are simply not serious. The reason why most communities are not here is because of funding challenges. But if we are able to do that, each delegation from every CDA can confidently come from the cost of that by community fund, take care of the transportation, accommodation, and everything. And of course, the Conaecda system will also be able to, arrange everything seamlessly. And all we require is just contribute to your own my community account. And what we want you to do, each CDA will sign an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, which will clearly spell out the details, at least in brief, of what actually the whole thing is about, so that you satisfy yourself, you do your own part, Conaecda does its own part. It may not even be the same, MOU. If there's a need for variation, some people may be more committed and more serious than others. Why not? So sign an MOU. I don't know how many CDA presidents are here. If you are a CDA president, can I just raise up your hand? Presidents or representing a president. If you are a CDA president or representing a president. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See? In the middle belt where we have more than 300 CDAs, we have less than 20. That even may be good enough. Can the CDAs that are here agree to sign our MOU before the meeting? And then go back home and do the needful so that we can now do a follow-up to implement and execute. At least if these 12 can do that, I'll go home with the full assurance that we are now serious. We need that to be done. And immediately that is done, you now open your My Community account, where all contributions to that, Conaecda programs in your community are going to be paid directly. We have tried a session whereby we send receipts and all kinds of things, you collect money. It doesn't reach where it's supposed to reach. It gets hooked somewhere. So we have modified the process, to ensure that all contributions to that project account is going to be direct. Everybody pays direct to the account. In fact, the ideal thing we even wish for is where community members make what is called the standing order to their bankers. Since we are not asking for a lump sum, but if you choose to make a lump sum, it's because you feel confident to do so. Otherwise, your 100, 200, 500, or whatever, you can just give your bank a standing order and seamlessly without any wahala. If you take that, imagine if we get 100,000, 200,000 in the middle of paying as little as that. It's going to turn things around. So let's get the communities to sign the MOU, let them open their community accounts, and the community accounts are going to be jointly, we are going to have signatories from the community, from the state and the national, so that there is going to be complete transparency across the board. Everything that's going to be done will be with the understanding of all the tiers of the system. Furthermore, we said the CDA should now go back and mobilize. If you fail to mobilize your community, like I said, let us stop pretending it means we are not serious. And then after that, the CDA should design the programs that are really the concern of your community, that the fund in that account are going to be used for. You design, of course, in consultation with Conaecda, in line with the Conaecda vision and mission. That is what we already have some programs that are running, that some communities are not able to participate because of financial challenges. And so the communities will now plan all those programs and get Conaecda input into it. Design your programs and projects on other things that you feel your community really needs. And then before anything is done, we have express approval from each community to release funds for anything. Most of the projects will be executed by Conaecda itself, because like the language program and other programs, the experts are here. But they will not just do anything for you. You have to get your consent and your approval. So that will be done. And then, once that is done, the payments can be made and everything can be done. And then finally, accountability for the funds that are in that account is going to be done by jointly Conaecda and your community. Because why? You are going to be in the picture of everything. In fact, some of the projects you may be able to execute. Whenever the community can do something, of course, you get the support of Conaecda to enable them to do it. But where there are some expertise and technicalities involved, where the secretariat has the expertise or access to people that can facilitate to do that, they will do that. But at the end of the day, there is going to be serious accountability from both Conaecda secretariat and the CPS who are going to jointly manage this. So as simple as that, since we are dealing with CDA leaders and Conaecda officials, this is what we need to take off the ground. We need this to take off the ground before the year runs out. Since we counted and got 12 communities, I even besiege on the state coordinators to pass the message around to other communities that are not here to join the bandwagon. Let us see how many communities can be able to sign that MOU before the year runs out and open their accounts, and then we set the machinery in motion for communities to contribute and let us start real work. If that can be done within this year, and of course going forward, I will be so glad for it. Instead of just bearing empty titles, we will actually do the real work. I think that is the message I want to pass around, because I have some other commitments somewhere to attend to. So after, if you don't see me, please beg your pardon. But immediately we'll continue the discussion with the secretariat on getting these things done as soon as possible. Let me take about. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Executive Secretary. Are there gray areas where we need to ask questions to get clarification? If there are, we can take questions. Yes, please. The man behind there, yes.
As of any community that happens to maybe invest with spend the money or funds raised by the community and not using the money judiciously to run activities or programs, which this money is being raised for by Conaecda. This is my question. That's one.
Yes, sir.
Questions. One, in your presentations, you make mention that any project that will be executed by the city approved by Conaecda. So does it mean that my project takes off any of the CDs, we want to spend money, we don't come and get approval? The second question is, can we have safe development my project so that go through it and discuss with the other experts, because one person cannot just decide on this.
Yes. So,
the laid out plan is very apt, And if we follow through, I think we'll be able to solve the financial challenges of Conaecda. But just like my brother just preached, my community, we have laid down, it's a constitutional provision. I cannot sign anything until the board, anything finance, until the board ratifies. So I think I would suggest that you give us this document, we go and study, and then we liaise with our state coordinators, then sign and return same after we have met at our various boards. For me, I cannot sign any document related to finance without the board discussing and agreeing on what to be done. Again, I think the account is going to be separate from the account of the CTAs. It's a separate account. I just want for clarity. It's going to be a separate account from the original account of the CTAs. And then original project of CTAs are also going to be separated from Conaecda projects. So if a CTA has a project that wants to implement on its own, they are allowed to do so without recourse to Conaecda. But if there is an account in Conaecda name and they want to execute project with that account, then that is when they will not have to recourse back to Conaecda. That's what clarity. Thank you.
Sorry, sir. I think I have a different approach. I want to make my suggestion this way. As movement, as people, sorry, my name is Idanka Emmanuel John. As people move from one place to another, likewise, that's how money moves from one direction to the other. I'm coming with this suggestion like this. Sometimes back, you discover that people who are selling petrol are the people who are having money. Now it moves from the people who are selling petrol to people who have POS. POS at the point in time are the people who are controlling money. And now it moves to the judiciary now. Judiciary are the one controlling money. Now I want to suggest this way, since money is moving this way, we have MTN. Why don't we create an app of all the minority tribes, just like the MTN, and advertise it? Anybody that subscribes to the app and you hear your language, this subscription will attract money to collect that. Any subscription you make to the app, it attracts money. Maybe we alliance with the MTN so that they include your language in their app. So that as soon as you subscribe, you hear the transaction in your language and the money goes to Conaecda and goes to MTN as well. Because everybody is having fun now. There's no any average Nigerian that is not using phone. And it's another way of getting money from Nigeria. You discover sometimes they say if you dial star 123, 1% of 1% of the money goes to somebody. So the same thing, if we do that, since we're in ICT era now, anything that we subscribe using ICT, the money goes to the account for that. And I think by so doing, whether you like it or not, consciously or unconsciously, you'll be sending money to the collector's account. I think that's my own suggestion. Thank you.
Hello. Maybe let me start from the last one. We are working together with this is secretarial administrative issues. So we're working together with the executive secretary of CISPA. So I'll just clarify a few things. Let me start from the point he raised. Actually, we are working on the Conaecda website, and we are also working on various applications, including a CISPA application, which will enable people to use that application to make contributions towards different kinds of programs. And I'm not going to say so much about it because there are groups that are trying to copy some of the things we're working on. So when we are ready, it will come out and then we can use it. But I can assure you that we're already working on those things. One of the persons that is going to be working on our website was here yesterday, and I gave you some of the details that we're working on that. So when it's ready, a lot of those issues that you raised are actually already part of that system. Now, the question you raised, sir, is there is one fundamental principle in Conaecda. You know, Conaecda works on the basis of the United Nations declarations on the rights of indigenous people. That declaration is fundamentally based on the independence of the indigenous people groups or ethnic nationality. In other words, we are trying to encourage and strengthen the independence of all the various ethnic nationalities. So we do not want to interfere in their administration, their running, their operations, and their independence. So whatever annual dues you have, levies you have, programs you have, projects you have, Conaecda will not want to interfere. But there is projects and programs in which Conaecda is going to intervene. Now, in the intervention, Conaecda is supposed to collaborate with the community so that the intervention is based on the identified needs of the local community. So in the OOU, we say the community and Conaecda will collectively design intervention programs. Now, those intervention programs that Conaecda will be coming to intervene are the ones where the CIFA fund will come in. So in other words, for an example, maybe you have your annual levy of 1,000. That is your annual levy. Conaecda has no business with that. But let's assume we want to come to your community to train the CDA leadership. Or we want to invite, maybe you have just finished your ESCO meeting, election, and we want to train your ESCO. Now, instead of asking me to bring money for this and that, because that is agreed with your community, it is from the community intervention fund that the money for that training will be extracted. So which means if your community is making tangible contribution, by next year Conaecda conference, you are not supposed to even come and do registration because the money for your registration, for your feeding, possibly even your transportation, will be removed from your community intervention fund. I hope I'm making some sense. Now, if we are doing language project like we're doing with some communities in Plateau, right now we have about 6 communities. We are working on textbooks, we are working on teacher training, we are working on so many projects with the communities. And many a times we'll ask the community affect your project, but it means we can design the program together and work on the program. So it is primarily for Conaecda interventions. But it is not only the money you put in that is going to be in that account. If we are able to get money from other sources, we can add to the money that we're using for your intervention. So please, let's understand that we are not expecting that everything will just be there. We will look for money from other sources, and if we get, we will add to your community intervention fund. But if you do not have any fund, that means you are not adding back. Am I making any sense? Because there's nothing to add to. We can only do what is there. And sometimes they may say community